This is Music from the Heartland with songs at the center. This episode features from Boston, Capitol recording artist Chris Trapper, John Lennon Songwriting Award winner Olivia Millerschin, touring Americana artist Diana Chittester, and series creator and host Eric Gnezda. Major funding provided by The Ohio State University, James Cancer Hospital, and Solove Research Institute. No two people are exactly alike, and neither are their cancers. At the James, we believe there is no routine cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/cancer. Additional funding provided by the Ohio Arts Council.
Welcome to Songs at the Center, where we celebrate the singer-songwriter. We're pleased to be coming to you from the Columbus Association for the Performing Arts' beautifully restored Lincoln Theater. The Lincoln Theater opened on Thanksgiving Day in 1928, and it's fitting that we'd be here because we're thankful for the many artists that we bring you. We have a few more for you on this episode, and we'd like to introduce from Detroit, Michigan, Olivia Millerschin.
Hi.
From Cleveland, Ohio, Diana Chittester. And Boston, Massachusetts, Mr. Chris Trapper. Thanks for joining us. Olivia Millerschin, do people ever tell you that you're an old soul?
They tell me I look a lot like a model, but not the old soul thing.
Well, you can be both, can't you?
Yeah. True. No, yeah. I mean my mom. Yeah.
But
yeah.
You do. But you do have a perspective and a reflectiveness in your writing that seems beyond your years.
Thanks.
And sometimes those, and you joke about, all your songs being depressing and all that. I think all of us songwriters do, because it's a lot easier to write a sad song than a happy song. When we're happy, we want to go out and be with our friends and, be celebrating life. Yeah. You're not really in the mood at that point.
Right.
But, one of the privileges we have as writers is that when we write those, quote, sad songs, sometimes they have great effects on others. And you're not alone in that. And you've told me some stories about how your songs have affected others, and I'd wonder if you'd be kind enough to share one of those with us.
Sure. There was a really incredible and strange experience that happened to us. We were playing in Rochester, New York, I think probably 2 or so years ago, and I don't know. I guess I would always just hope for my music that it affects other people the way that I'm affected by music, just being around it right now. And so we were about to play this show, and this woman pulled me aside, and she said, "We drove almost 3 hours to get here tonight." And I said, "That's really nice. Why are you here?" And she said, "I found your music on a show, a TV show, and I'm just a really big fan of it. I actually lost both my parents in a car accident, and I'm part of a Dead Parents Society, and they have this club." And I'm like, "That's very dark," but she laughs about it. She makes light of it because that's the way that she deals with it. And she said that they play my music before each meeting. And so I thought that, I was like, I don't want to laugh at that, actually. I was like, that's actually one of the greatest things that I've ever heard. The biggest compliments that could be given, I think, is just to bring healing to people the way that they give it to you. So
we'd love to hear a song from you and James.
Sure.
Is James going to join you on this one?
Oh, yeah.
James Payne, trombonist from
Yeah.
Worthington, Ohio?
Yeah.
All right.
This song is this is the first time that I'm playing the song myself on stage. We've played it with guitar before, but never just keys. This is a song that I was asked to write for a show that's going to HGTV. It was supposed to come out in September, and I turned on the TV and it wasn't there. So, so we will see. But I did write the song for the show, and the show's called Brick Story. Woke up in the middle of the night 'cause I don't sleep so well with you so far away. And this road gets the better of me. It's nice to know that some things never change. speed of light. Haven't slept since last July, and I've been saving up, but I'm still spent. So someday soon we'll have enough for a house on a hill or a corner lot, and it'll all be worth it. I want a house, a home, where memories don't haunt, no, they just hold you close. And every day we wake up, we're just glad to know I've got you, and you've got me, and we've got these four walls to call home. Called up in the middle of the night, 'cause I know you're awake somewhere far away. When my head gets ahead of itself, it's nice to know you're still in front of me. 5 years and still going strong, and our baby runs through the yard. We're so young and still growing up, but just look how far we've come. We made a house, a home, where memories don't haunt, no, they just hold you close. And every day we wake up, we're just glad to know I've got you, and you've got me, and we've got these four walls to call home. If the door comes off of the hinge, or the paint comes off of the walls, brick by brick by brick by brick comes tumbling down, then we'll let them fall. 'Cause we made this house our home, where memories don't haunt, no, they just hold us close. And every day we wake up, we're just happy to know that I've got you, and you've got me, and we've got these four walls to call home. We'll call it home. Thanks.
I have always loved taking subjects that are light and dark and everything in between and finding some semblance of hope inside of them, and then hopefully sharing that. And so that's the common theme in my music, and I think there's this I don't know, idea right now with younger people especially, where if you're positive, then you're cheesy. Like, we almost crave negativity as like a new humor thing, and I think it all comes and goes in waves, but I'm hoping that people will revel in positivity and hope and happiness, and that's what we hope to do with our music.
Well, Diana Chittester from Cleveland, Ohio, we're happy to have you here on Songs at the Center.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
You have a conviction, really, that there have been so many female guitarists who've been overlooked and haven't gotten their due, and part of your mission is to educate us about that.
Yeah, well, there's truth in what you just said. There's a festival in Cleveland called Laurel Live, and I was asked if I would do a workshop for their education stage, and I thought, yeah, I could cover female guitarists through the past century and how they've been overlooked and how their guitar styles influence mainstream music. I mean, that was the obvious go-to, right?
Right.
But this actually came about because I had read a lot about Elizabeth Cotten, and I had read about some of the finger-picking styles that she did that were actually referred to as cotton picking, which years later were sort of redone by Merle Travis, and that now in present day we refer to them as Travis picking, even though Elizabeth Cotten introduced them, easily 40 years probably before Merle Travis really was utilizing them. So I started just really researching to see, well, who else was out there and what were they doing? And I think a big thing that I started to pick up on is that a lot of the household names that we know, people like Elvis Presley and Bob Dylan, they were actually quoted referencing female guitarists and performers that had influenced them to do the work that they do. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, she's the godmother of rock and roll. She was doing it first. And that inspired Elvis down the road. Bob Dylan references Odetta because he heard her album and decided to pick up the acoustic guitar and started working as a songwriter. And a lot of times when I mention these names to people, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Odetta, many don't know who they are. But they are instrumental in leading and inspiring a lot of the household names that we have. This song, actually, the guitar style was heavily influenced by Nancy Wilson from Heart, and specifically Crazy on You. I wrote this next song. I hate to say it started as a Facebook post, but it did, because that's where you go when you're upset. And I posed the question on Facebook. I said, when is brave? When does it become crazy? And when is hopeful? When does it transform to naive? And at what point do you call yourself out and say, am I really pursuing passion, or am I trying to be something I'm not meant to be? And of all the comments that came in as a result of that, of course, one person says, sounds like a song. And I thought, that is a much better outlet. So I wrote this song titled On My Own. Let's begin where we start, is on that line between your passion and trying to be something you're not meant to be. As you move on slowly, your clock ticks on, there's no time to stall, no way to turn it all around if you're wrong. But I can't deny it for too long. I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime and then some. As you sway side to side now, you're balancing over only dreams, wondering just how bold and brave crazy can be. But I can't deny it for too long. I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime and then some. Still I'm hoping it all won't fall down. It won't crumble. I'm regretting now everything I gave and what I'm paying for when I said I can make it on my own. Choice is yours, but be cautioned if you choose wrong and bet it all. You might just learn how naive all that hope can be. But I can't deny it for too long. I'm trapped in it now. What I give is a lifetime and it won't crumble. I'm regretting now everything I gave and what I'm paying for when I said I can make it on my own. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks, Eric.
Diana Chittester, thanks for joining us.
The creative process in general is just, it's limitless, and you never know exactly what direction it's going to go. And I think as a writer, you're enslaved to it. So I've learned to be very, very patient with it, but I've also had to learn how to sort of encourage it to move along. And I think when a song is finally presented, performing live is one thing to an audience. When it's recorded and put on an album, I know there have been many times where I step back and I say, there you are. This thing that started as an idea and then took a physical form. And I think that is the overall gratification of songwriting.
Chris Trapper from Boston, Massachusetts. It's great to have you with us on Songs at the Center. A few years ago, you were able to do a duet with one of your heroes, one of my heroes, one of every songwriter's heroes, John Prine. What was that like?
Very surreal, in fact, because I basically grew up, my mom was a big fan of singer-songwriters growing up, and so my dad was also. And so they'd always play records, vinyl records, all the time. And so one songwriter who kept recurring in their kind of late night, beer drinking routine where they'd play albums, would be John Prine. And they played his records until the album skipped. He skipped a lot. So at first I was like, he's a little annoying. And then over the years, I went off to college, then moved to Boston, and he was doing a show at Great Woods, and I'd come to respect. Great Woods is a big outdoor amphitheater in Boston. And so I'm watching his show. At one point, I was laughing. The next song, I was crying. And so I was like, wow, that's like a very intense experience for one guy to move me to all these different places. And so fast forward, when I started writing songs, John Prine's manager wanted to sign me at one point in time. And so I got a gig opening for John Prine at the Portsmouth, New Hampshire Songwriting Festival. It's a songwriters festival. And I had this whole speech prepared, how he had influenced me over the years and how I'd come to love him so much, and he was my idol and all this stuff. And so his manager walked him over, Al Bonetto walked him over, and was like, Chris, John Prine, here's your moment. And I said, it was a great show. Then just walked away. But I've been a fan of his songwriting. He's a big 1950s buff. I love a lot of 1950s music also. And I'm always fascinated by the fact that it's such a beautifully simple era of songwriting where every song from 1950 until 1960 is the same exact 4 chord changes. It's always this. It's like a whole decade passed,
right?
And they couldn't think of any other chord changes.
Right, exactly.
It's like these 4 work really well. Let's just use that, and that's enough. And it's also a lot of really beautiful, innocent love songs. But if you think about it, it's always teenage love, puppy love. It's all songs about falling in love. And if you think about all the songwriting through pop history, pop music history, it's always songs about falling in love, and there's very few songs about staying in love, because it's a much more difficult topic to tackle. So I tried to tackle it in this song called Skin. You and I know how to weather the weather, even though know we have holes in our shoes, but still we learned that you never say never. You were covered in tubes in a hospital bed. I said I will love you still. I will love you still. I say I'll wait for you to put your fake teeth in. You say you'll wait for me to spray on my hair. You'll still steal my heart when there's nobody to reach in. I'll be kissing you when you take your last gasp of air. 'Cause I will still be there. I will still be there. If you break into or turn into a skeleton, I'll give you my skin. I'll give you my skin. You know you have the most beautiful body. Hate to remind you, but someday you won't. You'll be 85 at changing time, and I'll still sneak a peek in. Can't wait to see the face you make over the hill. 'Cause I will love you still. 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 When you're falling out, I'll tuck it in. If you're broken down, I'll give you my skin. If you break into or turn into a skeleton, I'll give you my skin. I'll give you my skin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give you my skin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give you my skin, 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 skin.
Yeah. Chris Trapper, thank you very much.
This is Cactus on a Ledge. I'm a cactus on a ledge, a quiet life I've led, but I've got dreams that you would not believe. A prickly little flower, and though I do not tower, someday I hope to be a tree. And all my cactus friends, they laugh and joke and jest. I've heard it all, my dreams too tall to reach. Still I sit here in defiance and watch those leafy giants. Someday I hope to be a tree. I've always pined to see the neighborhood, though I've got a view of my own that a tree would never know. So, right back to the start, I've had a change of heart, and now I've got my biggest ever dream. I long so bad to be the greatest, grandest tree that I forgot to be the greatest, grandest me. Someday I hope to be the best cactus on a ledge you see.
Thank you for being with us from the Columbus Association for the Performing Arts, Lincoln Theater. I'm Eric Gnezda, and we hope that you'll continue to tune into public TV stations all across America, where you'll always find Songs at the Center. We'll see you next time.
Major funding provided by The Ohio State University, James Cancer Hospital, and Solove Research Institute. No two people are exactly alike, and neither are their cancers. At the James, we believe there is no routine cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/cancer. Additional funding provided by the Ohio Arts Council. Learn more about Songs at the Center at songsatthecenter.tv.